Hey Colby, this is Keaton Everett with ABC going over your pitching video. We're going to go through and kind of, look at your mechanics. We're going to break it down at a couple key spots and just kind of talk about, where we'd like to see you, some areas to improve on, some areas that are looking good, and just kind of go over your mechanics here. So right off the bat, we're just going to stop and go back and look at, how we're starting, because how we start is so important to how we're going to finish. Okay, so you just got to make sure that we're starting right. Okay, so one of the things we look at is head. Is your head staying over that back foot as you're starting? And you're doing a pretty good job. All right, there's a little bit drifting forward, but I mean, for the most part, you're staying over that back leg. You want to come set with that back leg, that weight on that back leg, and you're not shifting that weight back to get there. So that's pretty good. You're already coming set there. All right, you come set with your hands up high a little bit, but as you watch, you're pretty quick out of the glove, so that's not a big deal having your hands up high. Usually we like to see it a little bit lower, but one of the things we can do is just kind of keep that position, and you want to make sure that you're breaking your hands at the same point as that leg's going forward. Okay, so you can see that you're just a little late breaking your hands. We want to see those hands break as that leg goes down, and as that, you can see your body's kind of starting to go forward here. So we're looking, as you're seeing now, your hands are broke. Okay, so now the ball's coming out of the glove there, but we want to make sure that those hands are breaking back probably about right around here. So that leg comes up. There's going to be a little bit of hip drift forward, but you're going to want to see that ball come out of that glove right there, instead of, you can kind of see how far you're shifting forward, okay? And you're going to see sort of what that leads to here in a little bit as you're going down, okay? So leg kick wise, you're a little short, you kind of bring that knee just below that waist, and if that's comfortable for you, that's fine, but we usually like to try to maybe get a little bit higher, just so we can kind of buy that lower half some time to get those hips going, because we want those hips to lead our body down the hill, which you do really well. Okay, you can see that this foot staying closed, you're kind of kicking with that heel almost, you're taking that back pocket to the catcher, so you're driving with the hips. That's really good. Okay, so now as we kind of go through the motion, I want you to just, we freeze out what's called foot strike. Okay, so a couple of the issues that I see here are, one, right down here at your foot. Okay, we're landing with that really sharp angle in that back heel. All right, it's almost at a 45-degree angle. We want to try to get ourselves to a position that we're landing not, we're probably not going to be able to get exactly on the balls of our feet, but we're going to be able to land a little bit less so dramatically on that heel. Maybe the foot's kind of angled about right there. We want to try to get that a little bit more flat, because all that's showing us is that we're either overstriding, or we're just kind of too tense, with that bottom foot. All right, so that's just something to kind of be a little more aware of. All right, the other thing, this ball path out of your hand, is what we don't like to see is your arm in this position. Okay, if you're up this high, that's your elbows and your shoulders abducting above, that elbow's abducting above that shoulder. You're getting a really extreme angle in this shoulder capsule. All right, that's putting a lot of strain on that shoulder. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're trying to get rid of that angle. Right here, that's putting a big strain on that shoulder. All right, so we want to try to get to a point where this elbow isn't getting much higher than that shoulder height. All right, maybe about right there. But all that is because, remember how we mentioned back here how you're breaking your hands late, is that your arm's dragging. So you're just seeing this arm get really high up to a point where at this position we'd want to see that elbow here and more of a, kind of a neutral 90-degree angle. So all you're kind of do is that hand's late, and you're trying to overcompensate with that elbow lifting up really high, whereas you just need to make sure that ball's getting going a little bit quicker before that body's going forward. You get that hand up on top of the ball instead of trying to get that elbow up above the shoulder. Alright, so that's a pretty good indication of some problems down the road. It might not be bad now, but that's just something you kind of want to address, get with a pitching coach and just kind of talk about it. But that angle is just a little bit extreme and throws a little bit of caution to me that I'd like you to kind of look at and fix. Back at now in this position you're fine. All right, you're not maintaining that angle all the way through, but it's just that little bit of strain is just something that you need to look at too. Okay, so once we get a foot strike, all right, you got pretty good torque. That hip's going towards the catcher, all right, and this upper body still hasn't rotated yet. So you got good torque. You're at a great angle right here. That back foot's turned over, all right, everything's looking good. One of the things we like to see is that's going to help you get a little bit farther release point, is to get this glove a little bit farther out. And you're going to watch back here is that glove never really even gets out over that front foot. You kind of twirl it in right here, and this glove's just kind of chilling right over that hip. We want to try to get this glove out from here and move it, out over that front foot. We want to try to buy that upper body time to stay closed as long as it can to get that lower body generating all that power. So back out in here, you're kind of more in this position. Just let that glove kind of follow that front foot, let it get out there, and that's just going to help you get to a little bit more release. You're going to be able to get to a position where you're not pushing the ball. You can kind of see you're pushing that ball, that elbow's getting out in front. You're kind of pushing that ball here. You're going to get in a little bit more better angle out here. Probably pick up, probably get your head about right here and probably pick up another 6 or 8 inches. All right, so you're just going to get away from that push right there, and your glove's finishing there good. So you just want to make sure that glove's already out there and not kind of going towards that circle. So you want to make sure it's out there already and take that upper body to that glove instead of tucking in it early. One of the things you are doing good is this back foot staying on the ground. You're driving through that back foot. A lot of times you're going to see guys kind of lift up early off that back foot. So you're staying through your legs really well. I mean, you have good torque and you have a good lower half foundation, and you are getting out front. You're finishing pretty good, but it's just a matter of just getting those hands going a little bit quicker so you can get that ball up above that elbow. Just think about getting that ball up above that elbow instead of that elbow above that shoulder. You got good torque, and then it's just a matter of just letting those hands get out a little bit longer so you can seek up that upper body to really get the full use out of those legs. But lower half, from waist down is awesome. It's above and beyond for your age. It's really good. Now it's just a matter of syncing that upper body up. So, hopefully you find some use out of this, and hopefully you had a great time at camp, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.